Hello, welcome to our short presentation where we're going to just let you know about the Enhanced Language and Communication Initiative, also known as ELCi. We're just going to start with introducing ourselves. So I'm Fiona Hewen, I'm the Senior Educational Psychologist who leads on the project along with...
I'm Nicole Berry, Speech and Language Therapy Clinical Lead.
And I'm Cheryl DeSuy-Shrub, ELCi Coordinator.
Some background about the project. We recognised that the levels of need in children starting reception classes in mainstream schools had really increased over the last few years, which was bringing quite a challenge for teaching staff to enable the children to make progress. And we know that supporting language, communication and emotional regulation within the classroom does really support those children to make better progress. So we are supporting schools using approaches that have a good evidence base for impact. The overview of how ELCi works: it's a joint project between educational psychology and speech and language therapy with Senior EP, Speech and Language Clinical Lead, our ELCi support coordinator, and then a team of support workers. The duration of the project within a school is across a term, and the support workers will visit weekly within that term, working directly with the class teacher and the class team together in order to audit, problem solve, and trial whole class strategies. Our commitment to you will be that we will work in partnership with you in the best interest of the children. We will deliver weekly visits within your class in order to coach the teacher through the programme. We provide a programme which will be tailored to facilitate inclusion within your specific classroom. We advise and model appropriate strategies and approaches. We provide resources such as visual supports and weekly opportunities for feedback, reflection and review. What we need from you is the class teacher and SENCO's input in the initial meeting, the class teacher to be allocated 30 minutes per week in order to problem solve and reflect with the support worker, to continue to use effective strategies throughout the week and communicate any barriers in implementing the programme with the support worker, and engagement in the feedback, reflection and review sessions, as well as jointly evaluating the impact of the project in your school. The plan of the programme over a term: so visit 1 would be the audit and the initial meeting with the teacher and SENCO. Then there will be up to 6 visits with the support worker who will come in to coach and support through various approaches and strategies. Then there'll be a repeat audit to measure the change that's been made over the term. And then the final visit will include our final feedback and the presentation of a report with next steps.
So I'm just going to talk about the key strategies that we use within the ELCi programme. First of all, we will be using a CERTS framework. So CERT stands for Social Communication, Emotional Regulation and Transactional Support. And this is the framework that we use, first of all, to set targets within the programme, but also as a kind of pre-post measure. So we're really just looking at the really good things people are doing in class already and then building on that. And it gives us ideas about observable behaviour that teachers can follow in their class to support the children to be included.
One of the strategies that we've used quite a lot in schools is attention autism, that was designed and developed by Gina Davis, and we use it as a whole class attention time to enable the children to be actively involved in what's going on and the teacher's input. And that question that we're asking is whether that invitation to learn is irresistible, so worthy of a child's attention and so good that they would want to do it anyway. We really explore the use of visuals, making things really explicit, enabling those things to be, or the spoken word to be supported by using visuals. Emotional regulation, working with you with the emotional regulation strategies that you use, whether it be zones, colour monster, or any other, enabling the children to explore and start to understand how they're feeling, but also how others are feeling too. And then finding ways to enable them to take that and find ways of exploring how they can then feel better about things, or feel more able to cope in certain situations. And as you can see there, we've got zones of regulation, aided language display being supported by comic strip conversation. It may be exploring sequencing as being a way to enable children to access the incredible activities that you're providing, breaking it down into manageable steps and enabling them to achieve some of those steps or all of those steps, depending on their ability.
So obviously this was a new programme that we put in place. We started a couple of years ago, and we've been evaluating to ensure that we're offering the best support we can to schools. And the way we've done this is looking at feedback from teachers and SENCOs of the schools we've worked in, but also the CERTS framework allows us to have a really robust qualitative data in terms of progress pre and post. So this is an example of schools from one cohort across the term. The yellow bars are the initial sort of audit, and then the green bars are the audit at the end, showing progress in terms of what the teacher and the staff are actually doing in class. We also sought teachers' views, and this kind of links with GLD and shows how teachers felt that students had improved following the ELCi input. And this is kind of additional to, obviously we'd hope to see some improvement in reception class anyway through the term, but this is teachers' views on additional progress in terms of having the support from the ELCi team and then using the approaches that they suggested. So these are some quotes from schools. We also asked just for sort of feedback. And as you can see, I'll just give you a minute to kind of read those quotes. We've had some really lovely positive quotes about just their staff well-being and people feeling more confident about supporting the range of needs, but also in terms of using the strategies more widely across the school. So it's a very easy process. If you'd like the ELCi team to visit your school, there's a link here to the form, which is also on the page. It's a very simple form to fill in, but we just need to know a contact person, but also just a little bit of background about why you think ELCi would be helpful in your school. If you've got any further questions, we really welcome discussion. So there's emails for Nicole, myself, and for Cheryl if you'd like to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.